Good morning, everyone. So, I literally woke up this morning before my alarm. Like, my alarm actually just went off, I think, 15 minutes ago while I was driving here. I woke up and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? What if I just drove to Jackson, where they filmed some of the locations for Stranger Things? There's not that many locations here, but it's still where they shot some of the exteriors of Hawkins, Indiana. It's in Jackson, Georgia. This is so insane. Oh my god. So we are right here in Jackson, Georgia. This is like the square where they shot a lot of things. The first thing I did was go to Lucy Lou's Coffee, and I got the Vecna coffee. It's quite hot, so I'm gonna wait for it to cool before trying it. So we're gonna walk around, and then I don't know what time this store opens because it would be so cool to get to pop in, but we will see. There's also a Jackson's Escape Game room, which looks like it also has merch, but they don't open until 1 o'clock, so we're not gonna do that. Bye, hi, Eddie. And they do have a cute little Stranger Things wall in there and a Hellfire jacket. That's too bad that they're not open until 1 p.m., but that's okay. Right here on the square is Bradley's Old Tavern, which is actually the outside of the movie theater. They have a QR code to show us what the Hawk movie theater looked like. So that's what the theater looked like. The Hawk movie theater at the corner of North Oak and 2nd Street Avenue holds significance in the 3rd season of Stranger Things. Steve, Tommy, and Carol Perkins graffiti the front billboard of the movie theater with offensive messages, calling Nancy Wheeler a derogative name after Steve mistakenly believed she had hooked up with Jonathan Byers. This leads to confrontational and physical altercations between Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve in an alleyway next to the theater, which we're going to go to in a second, and ultimately results in their arrest. This event highlights the emotional and personal struggle faced by the characters, as well as the social dynamics of the small town. But yeah, so this is what it looked like, and this is what it actually is like. So you can kind of see like the green and the red look the same, but obviously like this part was gone and they built out a part that juts out to make the movie theater. So it finally feels like it's cooled off enough, so we're gonna try it. I got the Vecna coffee. That's delicious. You know what? Vecna might know what they're doing. So right next to the Bradley's Old Tavern, which again is the movie theater, we're gonna go down here, and they actually marked it on here: Stranger Things Season 1 Episode 6, The Monster, Jonathan and Steve alley fight scene. And it's down this way. So, wow. Well, that makes total sense. Look at this. This is where it was. This is so cool, and it literally says right here, right on here, it says, "Welcome to the alley fight scene." They really marked it out for us. I feel like I need to be in a fight right now. Ready to tussle, you know? I just messed up my hair so much worse than it already was. I'm gonna take some pictures now. I actually have another QR code here for the back alley fight scene in Stranger Things. All right, and that's where you see it. think they don't have that writing anymore about buyers, but let's read it. So they actually went down this way. I'm gonna try to shoot it similar to how they do in the thing, but this is essentially all the same area that they went down. Steve kept pushing him down this way until he got to like this area by the scaffolding and everything, and we can see that shop in the background in it as well. So there's only a couple other spots left, which we kind of already saw one of them, which is actually a courthouse, but it's filmed to be a library. And that's gonna be this one right behind me. That is the library, Hawkins Library. So we're gonna get closer in a second. But before that, there's one other spot I'm trying to go to. That's so funny. It's actually where the escape games room location is. So I didn't even see this earlier. So I'm in front of the Radio Shack location. Radio Shack plays a small but important role as the place where the main characters, a group of friends known as the Party, purchase their CB radios. Bob was a character in the second season of Stranger Things. He was introduced as the boyfriend of Joyce Byers and played a supportive role in the lives of her and her sons, Will and Jonathan. Bob was a likable character who worked at the local Radio Shack store and was known for his humor and helpful nature. Oh my god. I'm not gonna take the rest because there are some spoilers in there, but that's so cool. So we are outside of the Radio Shack. Obviously, it is now really home to Stranger Things things. So you can kind of see the whole square from here. I'm right by the courthouse now. I have a feeling maybe the courthouse area won't have a random oh, there is a QR code. Okay, let's do it. This is so cool. It feels like a little scavenger hunt. I mean, obviously, oops. It feels like a little scavenger hunt. Like, I know that we know where these locations are because you see it all online, but I love that this town does this. I kind of wish Covington had done the same. It does still say public library here, which is pretty cool. Hawkins Library, which you can see it kind of there. Hawkins Library, featured in the popular Netflix series Stranger Things, is actually the courthouse in Jackson, Georgia. Built in the early 20th century, this historic building has been repurposed as a visitor center while still preserving its original architectural features. With its stunning Georgian style and vintage charm, the library is a unique blend of the old and the new, and a must-visit for fans of the show and history enthusiasts alike. Visitors will be able to imagine the building as it appeared in the series and appreciate its timeless beauty and significance. So if you're a Stranger Things fan or simply looking to explore a piece of Jackson's rich history, be sure to visit the Hawkins Library. So I think that's about everything here. The only other thing I want to check, unfortunately the library is closed. I feel like normally we could go inside, but it's a Sunday, so it's closed. But I also feel like the outside is the impressive part. So I'm gonna take a picture by the clock tower. And then I think the only other thing that's here is supposedly there's a mural somewhere that has the characters, and there's supposed to be the store that Joyce Byers worked at. Also, just look at how cool the Surfer Boy Pizza truck looks from here. It looks so cool. So apparently the general store that Joyce works at is this one right here, which is cute enough right next to the Radio Shack where Bob works at. That's adorable. So we're gonna get close to there. And then besides that, there's supposed to be a mural somewhere, and then I think we're done. I didn't see a QR code for this one, which is kind of interesting. Oh wait, never mind, there is a QR code right here. Not only is it a place where residents can buy everyday essentials, but it is also a gathering place for the townspeople to exchange news and gossip. Throughout the show, Melvald's is portrayed as an important meeting place for the main characters, including Joyce, Hopper, and Bob, as they come together to discuss their latest findings and plan their next steps in their quest to uncover the mysterious events that have plagued their town. And now it is a Papa John's in one part and kind of like just demolished in the other part, which makes sense. I think they filmed in here. You can't really see You can't see it all, but it's just all demolished in there, so that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, now we're walking towards the mural. So we're gonna go this way. It's unfortunate, it looks like that store doesn't open until 12 and it is 9:36. I don't really know what I would do here until then. What is so interesting about what she was saying though, she's one of the people, I just ran into someone who works at the store, and she was talking about how they're filming more stuff for season 5 here, but she can't talk about it yet, which of course makes sense. But how crazy is that? I wonder what areas we're walking around that they've shot in or in front of, and we wouldn't even know yet. Like, they can't talk about it yet either. So that's kind of cool to think about it that way. Look at how casually we're just walking in this town. They've got Stranger Things Happen at Roots Outdoors, Jackson, Georgia. And they have the mural of Vecna and everyone biking. That's so cool. And funny enough, the mural brings us right back over to the famous alleyway for the fight scene. And then I think that is everything. This was so cool. I think this is my favorite part of the whole thing. Yeah, so I think if that store opened a little sooner, like it's almost 10, you know what I mean? Like I'd wait 20 minutes, but I don't really want to wait. How casual is this? I don't really want to wait 2.5 hours for a store to open up to get merch. She said they also have maps, which is cool, but we've already seen it all. So I think we're gonna head on back to Atlanta, but I'm so glad I decided to just wake up and casually do this. Like, this is so cool. And I really don't know if they shot at that house, but if I was to shoot anywhere here, I'd shoot at that house. Unfortunately, their houses are not in this neighborhood. They're in another part of Georgia. This is awesome. So this is right by Blue's ice cream shop. Oh my God, this is so cool. Yeah, it's right by Buddy Blue's cool ice cream shop. Do we just not? We look so good together. We make so much sense. I mean, come on. Come on. So it looks like the reason that store is closed is because of a private event. So that's why they don't open until 12. In my mind, they would open at 10 because that's when their first tour is, but that makes sense. Also, look at me, casually in the square. And like, these are the other parts of the square that we did not see that I feel like could have things shot there. Yeah. So glad I came and did this. I'm glad I just did the free version with the QR codes. You really, like, it's really not hard to give yourself a tour with that and looking online. Obviously, when you get a tour, it's really nice to have the tour guide there and have them give their own personal stories because they get to see the different scenes being filmed here, which is really cool. And that is something personal that you can't get otherwise. So because of that, I always do recommend a tour, but I just couldn't work it into my schedule for today. And I don't think I lost out on much in terms of seeing the actual locations. So I'm really glad I came. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you want to watch me travel anywhere else. I am getting to go somewhere overseas quite soon. So thank you all so much and have a great rest of your day.